What's up, Giants Nation? One Giant Rebuttal here, back with another video, and we finally get to rebuttal Fitz Vegas. I've been waiting to rebuttal this dude the longest out of anybody because he's the biggest joke in sports, yet he calls himself the hardest voice in sports. Sorry, bro, you're not. And I know I said this channel is not going to be, more constructive, less malicious, and so for the most part I have been, but when it comes to this video, I'm sorry. I'm not going all in, but I got to call it what it is because this is just plain sad. For this to come out of a Giants fan mouth, unbelievable. So we're going to start about 26 seconds into the video, and let's get to it.
The chance, the sky has fallen. I'm dead serious. We don't win without Odell. We're not winning without Odell. We stand zero chance without Odell. Don't listen to all these people that's thinking they had the audacity to say that Odell not playing just means that Sterling Shepard and Lattimore, all these randoms is going to step up. Listen, life don't work like that, especially in New York.
Life does work like that. Life has a tendency to work like that. Okay? When you're best wide receiver, not best player, because Saquon's better than Odell, and I'll already say that. But anyways, that's exactly what happened yesterday. I think Eli Manning made better decisions with the football than he has all season because he's not forcing the ball to Odell. Now, people could argue me on that point, but it is what it is. That's just my personal opinion. Clearly, you don't feel that way. You believe this offense runs through Odell, and you say it later in the video, and I'll rebut you on that point. But let's continue on.
You saw what happened last year when we lost Odell. We got the second pick in the draft. Without Odell, this offense does not work.
Newsflash. This is not last year. This is not the same system. This is not the same coach. Stop using last year as an example. Because it's just a dumb example to make. If McAdoo was still here and Jerry Reese was still running things, you'd have a legit gripe, but you don't. Actually, I don't even think Jerry Reese would have drafted Odell, to be honest with you, if he was still here, and thank God he's not, because we have better depth at wide receiver than we did last year. I'll argue that point till I'm blue in the face. But it's just a reality situation. These guys stepped up, and I know you recorded this video beforehand, but it's just got to be said. And I know you eat a lot of crow in the Saquon video, but you can't come out and say stuff like this and not be called out on it.
I know we got Saquon Barkley, that's cute. But without Odell out there and our sorry-ass offensive line, when they load that box, Saquon ain't got nowhere to go. Unless he want to be Barry Sanders and run side to side behind the line of scrimmage for 30 yards before he could cut up the field and run for 5, he ain't getting no yards. Odell makes this offense work.
Well, then you haven't been watching since the 49ers game because we tried to feed Odell. Weeks 1 through, 8? It didn't work, did it? And then we just said, you know what? Let's feed this young stud. And since then, we've been more of a game manager team. We've been passing the ball better. And yes, we've gone against some garbage teams. I'm not going to excuse that. But our offense has looked a hell of a lot better, and especially against the Bears. Why? Not because of Odell Beckham Jr. I'm not saying he hasn't contributed. He has, but not nearly what Saquon's done. Saquon is this team no more. Get it out of your head. Odell is number 2 on this offense. And he probably stayed out because he can't stand it. But that's just conspiracy theory on my part, and you get into it later in the video, but I don't think I'm going to make it that far. So let's continue on.
Don't even get me started on how bad Eli is going to look without Odell. Odell was going to be in a dogfight against this Washington secondary, even if he was playing. Without Odell, Eli is... Listen, let me tell y'all something about football. Okay, let me tell you a little something how football works. More times than not, when your number 1 wide receiver is out, you don't just plug the number 2 receiver into the number 1 wide receiver spot. Especially when you have a receiver like Sterling Shepard, who mans the slot a lot, who plays number 2. You want to keep him where he's supposed to be. You want to keep his role the same, and you normally promote the third or fourth guy and put him where OBJ would normally be, you're not going to go ask Sterling Shepard to be Odell Beckham. That's not what you're going to do. You're going to want Sterling Shepard to be Sterling Shepard, and then you're going to plug somebody else on the Odell routes. That's normally what would happen. You feel me? This is a disaster. We found out last year that Sterling Shepard cannot be a number one. He ain't built like that. He's not built to carry a team. Sterling Shepard had all year last year to show what he can do without Odell Beckham on the other side of the field. He ain't do nothing. Couldn't get open. And there's one thing I know about Eli Manning. If you're his only receiver and you have talent, he will find you the ball. Look at Steve Smith. Look at Victor Cruz. Hell, look at Odell Beckham. If you're good, Eli will force feed you the ball. The only quarterback who force feed his wide receiver more than Eli would be Antonio Brown out there in Pittsburgh.
All right. So I'm going to correct a couple things there. And I'll agree with him on one point. You're right. Sterling Shepard's not Odell Beckham Jr. But there isn't a lot of Odell Beckham Jr.'s out there, is there? There is only one Odell Beckham Jr. And he is supremely talented. But Sterling Shepard is talented in his own right. And to sit there and say, oh, well, we saw that Sterling Shepard wasn't a number one last year. You're right. He's not a number one. He's too small to be a number one. He's a slot wide receiver. That's where you have it right, and that's the only thing you have right. Spreading the ball around is fine on this team. And I'll argue till I'm blue in the face that you do not need Odell Beckham Jr. because we're not going through Odell anymore because this is not last year. So stop using that as a cop-out, Fisk. This is not last year. This is not Ben McAdoo. This is Pat Shurmur. And I know you get on to Pat Shurmur later in this video, and I'll address that too. And then you say, force feed the ball to Antonio Brown. I'm pretty sure they have Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know if you've seen him, but he's a pretty good wide receiver out there in Pittsburgh. Yes, you want to get the ball to your number one wide receiver, but if it's not working, it's okay to go somewhere else. And people have become a large shadow of themselves, and I believe they can be more productive players if Odell was not force-fed on this team. But Odell says it himself. I should get 20 touches. This is not a 20-touch offense. You cannot throw to Odell 20 times when you're only throwing the ball 30, 35 times. If Eli Manning is throwing the ball 40 or 45 times, I guarantee we're losing that game. That's not how we win games no more. We don't need Odell like that no more. Odell, you're going to get your 10 to 15 targets, probably 10 to 12. 15 is probably too much. And you better make something happen on those 10 to 12. And if you think that's unfair, well, we just paid you $20 million to score touchdowns, bro. So Fisk, stop using it as a cop-out. It's a cop-out. Stop comparing it to last year. This ain't last year. It's this year. Totally different team, totally different scheme. Let's continue on.
So don't give me this Sterling Shepard shit. Look, I see you get him.
I don't know if I mentioned it. Yeah, Sterling Shepard was injured last year, bro. He wasn't on the field nearly as much as you think he was.
Man, shrewd move. I see you, Gettleman. You know what? I stand corrected.
No, I can't even go through the rest of the video. This is such blasphemy. Legit blasphemy, and I don't mean to sound like Stephen A. Smith, but that's exactly what this video is. He goes on to talk about how Dave Gettleman and Pat Shurmur said, basically, oh, we gave up on the season during the Eagles game. We haven't won 4. Basically, it doesn't matter. He ignores the fact that we've won 4 out of the last 5. And he just continues to say, oh, well, we don't. Well, I shouldn't say 4 out of the last 5. At that point, we've won 3 out of the last 4. Obviously, this was recorded before the Washington game. So I'll retract that last statement. But what I will say is this. We had won 3 out of the last 4. And you're saying, oh, the Giants are tanking the season? Seriously? Seriously, Fisk? That's what you're trying to get at, because he does go on. He suggests the Giants are trying to take the season because they saw that the big draft, top 10 draft pick or top 5 draft pick that they were going to have is slipping away. So he says they're going to take the season because we don't have Odell on the field. That's ridiculous. And then he goes to say, well, some of you conspiracy theories or conspiracy theorists will suggest that Odell, well, the injury is made up and he was held out because he said something to either Pat Shurmur or the offensive coordinator, and that's why he was held out. All that's just straight blasphemy. We know we're trying to build a winning culture. We're trying to build a winning team. Fisk, I'm sorry, I really have to question your diehard fandom of the Giants after this video because this is just straight blasphemy. And I know you go on and you say, good boy Saquon, but it took you 14 weeks to really come out with that video. Saquon is this team now. No longer is it Odell's team. We run through Saquon. And I already have an Odell video. If you want to get my thoughts on Odell, please go check it out. I encourage everyone to go check out that video if you want my thoughts on Odell. I am not an Odell fan. I appreciate what he's done, but we do not need him. We are not a high-octane passing offense. We run the football, and we get it done that way. And you can win in this league. A lot of teams do it. I'm One Giant Rebuttal. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Again, if you're curious about Fisk or you want to hear more of Fisk videos, by all means, go to his channel. I will be leaving a link in the description. This is One Giant Rebuttal signing off, and go Big Blue.